So Steve, welcome back from a very eventful Barcelona. Just talk me through, first of all, the race for us from a technical perspective. How was our weekend?
Our weekend went pretty much as we expected, to be honest. We obviously tested that track twice pre-season, so it's a circuit that we know well with this car. First time we'd raced at a track where we tested this year, so there weren't too many surprises in it, and the problems that we experienced at the test, although we've made some progress with, were our main sort of hindering factors for our performance at the race, unsurprisingly is what you'd expect. We struggled with the balance of the car, particularly in Vitaly's case, to get the balance correct with the way the curves works, and that was really the story of his weekend. With Heikki doesn't really have those problems, and Heikki's weekend was a little bit easier for him certainly to conduct than Vitaly's. But I think we got the best out of the car, and unfortunately at the moment, although we've got lots of promising things coming, that's where the performance of the car is, and you know, we wish it was different, and we're working hard on it being different. But we've just really got to grin and bear it for the next few races until the promising updates come along, and the input of John Eiley and other people that have joined the team recently really start to show themselves on the car. So, as I say, in the meantime, we just have to keep our heads down, keep working, and keep doing all the things that we're good at, and wait for better times to arrive.
And talk me through some of the, because we brought some upgrades to Barcelona, obviously. We did some testing in Mugello. What exactly did we bring, and was it effective, or were we not quite as pleased with the results as we were expecting?
We did the Mugello test before Barcelona, and we had a sort of a choice. If we had, normally we have a set process that we use to before parts are put on the car. We had to short circuit a lot of that in order to put it on the car in Mugello. We took the decision to do that. Had we done our normal process, we'd have simply missed the Mugello test. So we chose to short circuit some of those some of that normal process in order to get bits on the car in Mugello. We did that. Unsurprisingly, in that sort of situation, some of them didn't work because it was a package of updates that we took to Mugello that didn't work as a package. So we took most of that didn't go to Barcelona, but we did take some of it to Barcelona. Rear wing went to Barcelona, for example, and that worked well. But what we need to do now is to put that package through the proper process, and with input from John Eiley, which would be great. Then I'm sure it will reappear on the car when it's ready to do so. But it wasn't ready in Barcelona.
Just talk me through the actual race itself. Heikki was actually in sixth, I think, at one point. I know it was not through pace, but actually, we were looking pretty good on track, and we were fighting with the Toro Rosso and the Williams. How was it from your perspective?
It's nice to see your car at the top of the, or towards the top rather than towards the bottom end of the timing sheets. But the sort of stark reality is it's all about tyre usage. So although it's nice to see yourself in sixth, it's only a temporary thing, because when you stop to do your pit stops, everyone's going to leapfrog you, and you're going to end up back where you started pretty much. So we were under no illusions during that race, even though we were running sixth for a few laps, that we were actually a competitive sixth. We expected to drop back, we did drop back, and although we run a pretty tight strategy here, and I think the strategy worked well. Benefit of hindsight, we may have stopped Heikki, or sort of left Heikki out a couple of laps longer, but I don't think that we made mistakes that would have cost us position on the road, if you like. I think we finished where we were going to finish, and the overriding lesson that we keep learning every Sunday is we need a faster car. So it is a bit frustrating, but as I say, better times are ahead. And
looking ahead to Monaco, obviously I know you've just spoken about we have to keep our heads down and work hard for the next few races, but is there anything that we are doing for Monaco in particular, any more upgrades or packages, or is that still to come?
Monaco is obviously all about downforce and traction. We will have some more downforce coming. The updates are not very dramatic, but there will be updates on the car from Monaco, not big ones. And then we'll take the car to Monaco and see how we go, honestly. Get whatever we can from it.
Cool. And just finally, talk me through the Williams file. Obviously, we need to update the guys. You were one of the first people on the scene, actually, being in the garage next door. Just talk me through what actually happened from your perspective, and give us an update on our guys who were involved and who actually went to hospital.
Yeah, I've been in this business for a number of years now, and I can honestly say I've not seen a garage fire as big as that one. Sometimes trays of petrol inadvertently get ignited or something. It's normally a flash fire which goes out, after half a minute or something. This was a little bit different, and was obviously very different right from the start, because not only was it a very large fire very quickly, but it was also inside. During the refuelling era, we got used to seeing cars have fires in the pits, but it's in the open air, and it's relatively, you're not blinded by smoke or anything like that. So although it's dramatic to see, you don't really ever feel threatened by it. But this was inside. It generated a huge amount of smoke very quickly, and it was very difficult to see just how bad the fire was from our angle, from the back of the garage, because there was so much smoke instantly. Once we'd worked out where it was, and it was in the Williams garage, but very close to our side. The teams are separated by sort of a chain link fence in Barcelona, and so the fire quickly came through to our side as well. And our primary motivation is two things really. Firstly, you want to make sure everybody's out of there, and secondly, you don't want it to spread because it was very large. So a number of people grabbed fire extinguishers and so on and started putting it out, and this was also happening obviously on the Williams side of things. And for the first few minutes, and I wasn't in the garage when it ignited, but I probably was looking at it, I guess, a minute or so afterwards. For the first minute, maybe 2 minutes, it was growing all the time, and it really wasn't clear when it was going to stop. So we started moving some of our equipment out of the way, and some people moved some fuel barrels out of the way, and that's when one of our guys got injured, in fact. So once we'd started doing that, we then sort of found some fire hoses that were on the wall at the circuit, and people started then spraying it with water, and we managed to sort of stop the thing getting any bigger. And this was something that was going on. There were Williams people primarily doing it. It was on their patch, if you like. But there were people from all teams there. There were people from Force India. There were. I think I pretty much saw somebody from every team there. We had more people than some because we were closer. Same for Force India, and obviously Williams had the most. But I think it was a nice. I didn't consider it at the time, but afterwards, it was nice to see how many people had come to help Williams, and obviously when the dust settled and when the smoke cleared, we could see just how much damage there had been. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries that I know of, certainly. But in terms of equipment, the Williams garage was really badly damaged, and so I've never seen anything like that before in my time. So I really feel for them, especially having just won the race. I'm sure for a lot of their guys, that was probably their best moment in Formula One, and within an hour, also probably their worst moment in Formula One. So it's a real kind of extreme of emotions for them, and obviously we all sympathise with them. And we offered what help we could at the time, and that offer will extend right through to Monaco and beyond. If there's anything we can do for them to help their recovery easier, then the offer's there.
And I think it's a true show of human spirit, and people joining forces to help put things right, I suppose.
Yeah, and I suppose it's even more of a contrast because we're all fierce competitors during the 2 hours of the race. And this was very quickly after the race it happened, and then of course suddenly there's a common cause, and people are united in that, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see human spirit, if you like. It was refreshing.
And just to update on our guys who obviously were taken to the medical centre, 3 with respiratory problems and 1 with a fractured thumb. How are they? They're all home now, aren't they?
They're all home. Everybody was back in the UK by the end of Monday, and it's moving the fuel, as I mentioned earlier. So actually, we were moving the fuel because of the fire, but it was actually just a trip or a fall, which can happen at any time. And unfortunately, Nick, our chief mechanic, was holding a fuel barrel, tripped, and the fuel barrel landed on his thumb, and it's crushed one of the bones in his thumb, so he's going to be out for a while. But that was our worst injury. The rest were just people that breathed a bit of smoking.